You're listening to Sit, Talk, and Listen podcast with your hosts, Payroll Rob and Zadie Bauer.
That's how we are starting today's episode. Yes, welcome back, everybody. It is Sit, Talk, and Listen. Today is June 19th, and our last episode was 15 days ago. Yep. It's been in the words of that one band, it's been a while, Stained. Was that?
Since I've gone and fucked things up.
All right.
Just like I always do.
That's right. So there's a little treat for
Auto-tune
everybody.
that, please.
We'll see what happens. A little treat for everybody who has been waiting to hear our beautiful voices return to the podcast airwaves.
Episode 45.
Episode 45.
Back-to-back St. Louis legends.
There you go.
This one was on our original Mount Rushmore.
Yep.
We all know it. And it's Mr. Robert Gibson.
Robbie.
Big Bob.
How hard do you think Bob Gibson would hit somebody if they call him Robbie? Robbie Gibson.
Oh, he'll wait till they're at the plate.
Just
And you're getting some sweet
give him the old chin music.
Yes, sir.
The high heat.
But Bob Gibson, what a legend in the game. One of the best of all time. Best to ever do it.
Yep. Easy choice for a
Probably
top
the best Bob in the history of sports.
best Bob everybody
Sorry,
knows.
Bobby Orr. You're
Yeah.
not Bob Gibson. Bob Gibson just
Bobby
the best.
Boucher can't live up to no Bobby Gibson.
Bob Gibson is the best.
The best. No.
But there's another great
True
45
legend.
right off the bat. Pedro Martinez. Do you have to?
I have a list, yeah. So
So we got Pedro Martinez.
Pedro Martinez, excellent
absolute
choice.
Stallion.
Stud muffin.
And everybody knows that. And then,
Everybody knows that.
but those are two great 45s. But then you also got Michael Jordan coming back wearing the 4-5.
Wearing that 4-5. Yep. He's on the list, obviously, is one of the great
So those are the
45s.
three 45s that come right to the top of my DZ.
Yeah. Those are good. I mean, look, you almost built a Mount Rushmore out of just number 45 right there.
Dude, we should start doing a Mount Rushmore. Like, if we could go back and pick earlier numbers,
Yep.
just like cover the ones we missed, that could be how we go about that.
There is a soccer player who famously wears 45. I know the name. I'm going to probably botch it when I say it. Mario
Balotelli.
That's
yes. One of my favorite soccer players of all time.
There you go. Adam, so that's pretty solid 4 right there.
I love that. Remember when Indiana, he wrote something on a T-shirt back then, and he lifted up to it said, "Please don't find me."
Oh, that sounds familiar. Yep. I remember
And
that.
so I remember copying that and wearing a T-shirt and I wrote on Sharpie, "Please don't find me."
Just in
He
case.
had the blonde mohawk before Chad Ochocinco.
Ocho Cinco was tied into that soccer lifestyle. He was about that.
Yeah, I think
So,
I think
I'm
he
not
was doing
surprised.
that but 45, that's a solid 4 right now.
Yeah. And for such kind of an odd number, when you think numbers, you think all the best players usually have like that, either a single digit number or like those middle 20s are always popular, or like, you think of some of the 80s and some players in the 90s numbers have great numbers, but for a 45 is like an odd number.
Especially like you said,
all these
like
great players.
going back like the 60s, it wasn't like people were picking 45 because of all the retired numbers they already had. Like
Right.
Bobby just wanted to sling that thing with the 4-5 on it.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't have the story in front of us about why Bob Gibson wore 45, but I'm sure it was something as simple as that was just the number that was given to him when he started playing, and that's just the number he kept.
I can't remember the college, but Bob Gibson, the original college he committed to, he decommitted from because the head coach didn't want any black players. What a mistake.
Yeah, bad move on their part. Michael Jordan also wore 45 when he was playing baseball, so
Yeah, for
Double 45s.
the Birmingham Barons.
that's correct. That is correct. Bing, 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 bing. 10 points, Xavier.
And speaking of 45s, a famous 45, Colt.
Colt 45, 2 zigzags. Yep.
So that's fun with 45s. Any big ones that I missed?
Bo Outlaw.
How can I forget Bo Outlaw?
Yeah, there's a lot of like old NBA players that I'm not familiar with. Ernie Davis.
If pissing your pants was cool, consider me Ernie Davis.
There's definitely a significant drop off in popularity of
So I
45
nailed the big
outside
ones.
of the ones that we've already mentioned. Yeah.
I am disappointed I missed Mario Balotelli, but other than that, Pedro, Bob, and Michael Jordan, I go to war with those guys. Or most guys.
For sure. Archie Griffin, if that name rings any bells. Johnny Majors.
Cool. The great name.
Johnny Majors. Yeah. He would, like, look at this photo. Let me just turn this. Look at this guy. Look at that.
That's an all-timer. Johnny Majors?
Johnny Majors. That sounds like a sports bar you go to at a small town.
Damn.
You guys going to meet up at Johnny Majors later? We're hanging out all night.
Johnny Majors sounds like a great music producer.
Ooh, I agree with that. That new record, Johnny Majors had his hand
Johnny Majors on the beat.
Is because it kind of sounds like John Mayer?
No.
Oh, okay.
Johnny Majors, like you got
John Mayer, good or bad?
Yeah, Johnny Football, good.
Okay,
great.
Good. Hey, look, I just wanted a simple answer.
I don't know much of him, but he's very talented.
Your body is wonderland.
But he's also a phenomenal guitarist.
Yep, he swoons them bitches for show.
Jesus, yeah. Amen.
Yes. So, episode 45, and like I said, today is June 19th. Juneteenth, national holiday. Xavier, tell us what it's about.
It's a day that we are celebrating the last freed slaves in somewhere in Texas.
That's right.
It took a while for the
2 months after the Civil War.
I was getting there. Go ahead. Though.
Well, you were there. I just figured I would get us there a little quicker. 2 months after the Civil War ended was when slaves in Texas heard word of the emancipation. So June 19th has become the day that we commemorate the freeing of all the slaves in America. And, I'm all for it. National holidays are great, man. Another day off work. Celebrate.
No, maybe one day we'll be freed from the slavery of capitalism.
Maybe,
but that's not what we're here to celebrate.
But to get free from that, we would probably have a downfall of our society. So, what do they say?
You have to make major sacrifices sometimes to improve.
Yep.
Tear it all down.
Always gets darkest before the dawn.
But yeah, great day.
Juneteenth. Shouts out to your holiday. Hopefully you were off work today. If not, talk to your employer. Figure out about next year.
Yeah, we should all be replacing. Like Columbus Day has been replaced for the most part, but everywhere
it's Indigenous Peoples Day.
You can replace it with Juneteenth, and it's a great thing. It's like celebrate the progression of.
So along with Juneteenth, there are some other national days to get to
real quick
today.
Before we do that, I just wanted to give my appreciation and to not even appreciation. That's a bad word to use, but this country was founded and built off the backs of all these slaves. And I think it kind of,
there's a lot
it's talked about, but not nearly enough. Like we wouldn't be anywhere as we are as a society or anywhere without all of these black slaves that were just used and just, completely laid the foundation for everything that we have. And not only that, like what they did by hand, but all the cultural things that, like barbecue and all this great music that was passed down from these slaves.
Yep.
I don't want to go too far. I just wanted to stop. And as a white man, like I don't think I have the floor too much to speak on it, but I still would like to share my appreciation for that, and just the recognition of these people that were just fucking used and abused for
definitely,
and gave us everything that we basically have today.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's all I wanted to say before we moved on from that.
No, I mean that's what today is for. Is really, you're commemorating the freedom of the slaves, but in commemorating that, you have to also remember the hundreds of years of slavery that they were pushed into, in our country, and what was built off the labor that they provided. And I mean, it wasn't unique to the United States. We weren't the first to do it, and not the only, but we were one of the most latest countries to be built off of slavery.
And we live in the United States, just like 4th of July. We weren't the first country to gain independence, but we still we celebrate 4th of July more than we celebrate anywhere. So here, that is the. I'm not celebrating. We're not celebrating slaves, but you know what I'm saying.
We're celebrating the emancipation of slaves.
Yes,
we're commemorating the freeing of slaves, and ingraining these people into our society and it's been a slow process, right? Obviously, there's still a lot of struggles in race relations in our country, but we've come a long way. That's all you can say. We've come a long way from where we used to be.
Hopefully, we'll go much further. And that's all
hopefully, it will go much further. That's right. So, shouts out to that. And I mean, hey, societies have always been built on the back of the marginalized, and it still is. Poor people run this country today with their labor, and they're forced to have to keep their jobs to maintain the low lifestyles that they have. So, modern day slavery is very much true. On that happy note, some other national days today, Xavier. What do you think? We get into them?
Type shit.
It's National Martini Day. So if you're out,
gin or vodka.
Do I prefer? Is that what your question is?
Yeesh.
I prefer a vodka martini. I do believe. No preference.
Dirty or no?
No, dirty is ice, right?
Olive juice.
Olive juice. Okay. I thought it had something to do with the ice, like the dirty, not dirty. Shows you how much I'm drinking martinis.
Not very often.
What do you think? Martinis definitely lost style over the last 50 years.
Well,
When I think of a martini, I think of Frank Sinatra's
Martinis,
era.
like still people still use them, but I think they've been replaced by the margarita.
Hey, Touch,
which
give me
is
a martini.
completely different liquor, but margarita is way more common.
I agree. That's a good call. Margarita's definitely kind of become the drink of choice if you're just out and about, like getting mixed drinks, for sure. But yeah, I always think of like a 50s, 60s type person walking in and give me a martini.
And now even those type of people, I say like the fancy man or whatever will get a Manhattan or an old fashioned. I feel like
fancy mans will get Manhattans for sure. It's not Manhattan Day, so don't go out getting Manhattans. Get a
fucking martini, bitch.
That's right, bitch. It's International Box Day.
Woo, woo.
That's right. So
You fired on your day off.
Oh, they on some bullshit.
They caught you on camera stealing a bunch of boxes. What, you trying to build a clubhouse or something?
That's a good one.
Friday.
What's in the box? What's in the box? Box Day.
Box day.
It's also Find a Leak Day.
Find a leak. Fix it.
Find a leak. Fix it.
Plug it.
National Garfield the Cat Day.
Fuck 'em.
Fuck him. Is that what you said?
Only thing I can
Garfield
think
hates
of
Mondays and loves lasagna.
that makes me think of that. I think you should leave episode where they think that they're in the creator of Garfield's house. Who's the creator?
It was Jim something.
Anyways, he's like the whole house is just
Garfield stuff.
Garfield theme, but they find out it's not even the creator of Garfield.
But when there's some guy like banging on the house, being like, "Let me in," and it was I don't know.
Yeah, we'll watch the skit.
It's goofy
good.
skit.
It's not good, but it's a good show.
It's National Watch Day. Xavier, not much of a watch wearer.
No, but I'm not a watch wearer because I would love to have a watch, a nice watch.
Yep. I got like 2 watches that are pretty nice. Remember, you were with me when I got one of them.
Yeah, it was right after you got your tax return.
I was feeling it. But it was good. Hey, look, good investment. I still have that watch. I get to wear it when I get all dressed up, and I look like I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I mean,
you know
sometimes
what I mean?
you just...
I don't know. What do you think about the iWatch, Apple Watch, all that kind of stuff?
Not
into it, not into it?
I mean, I don't know. Like, how often... Like, I know it's very popular, but, I mean...
Wearable tech, baby.
How much harder is it to just pull the phone out of your pocket than just to...
well, think about how much time I saved by having this on my wrist.
And you see people like
a little Star Trek talking into it.
Yeah.
Beam me up, Scotty.
I feel like it's almost more inconvenient to do that, but you want to like convince yourself due to the money you spent on it that it is more convenient. So we've tricked ourselves as a society to think of how convenient the watches are. It's just basically something you can wear on your wrist that you have a phone that can do all the same thing. But hey, I get it.
So if you're gonna go a watch, you're just gonna go old school.
Yes,
like for
Richard Mille.
For fashion senses. And I mean, it's nice. I don't know. Analog watch, it is what it is. I don't look at it for time very often, but I will. But it can complement an outfit big time. And I think, yeah, old school analog wristwatch complements an outfit much more than like some wearable tech.
I really would love. I love the look of like if you have just a nice ass watch on. So like me not wearing a watch is not because I don't like them. I like them a lot.
Yeah.
I just I cannot afford the type of watch that I would want.
Sure. I feel that.
But it's something just so classy. You see a guy like everybody says, you look at a guy's shoes first. You've heard that saying. Like,
yep. I know. I know that people look at my shoes sometimes and like, this poor motherfucker.
But you look at if somebody comes in with a nice watch on, dude, that's noticeable.
I agree. That's why when I break out that Citizen watch that I got, it's always nice. But yeah, it's nice. It's got some scratches on it
Citizen
these
Echo
days.
Drive. The Eli Manning used to rep them.
It's true. Eli sold me that watch one-on-one, dude. Right to me. From Eli's hands to mine. All right, just a couple more national days here. World Sickle Cell Day.
What the?
Just like, to
Sickle cell
raise awareness for the disease, sickle cell. And it's also Corpus Christi Day.
Corpus Christi?
That's correct.
Like Texas?
Well, that's like a city named Corpus Christi in Texas, but I think that is also the Feast of Corpus Christi, a Christian festival celebrated annually on the Thursday after Trinity Sunday.
All right, don't know what either one of those are. We can move along.
I don't know. Religious holidays.
There you go. Well, there's your...
It's just Juneteenth, everybody. Get out and have a martini on Juneteenth. And make sure to look at your watch.
Yeah, we really getting into some speakeasy times here with the watch on, drinking a martini.
Mm-hmm. Speakeasies.
A little jazz music.
Beep-beep-beep-beep-doo.
Or blues.
Speaking of blues, we're talking hockey. Stanley Cup playoffs just wrapped up.
The Panthers are a wagon.
Florida Panthers, back-to-back Stanley Cup champions 2 years in a row. That would be back-to-back.
Not close this year. I mean, it went 6, but it could have been a sweep.
The series seemed much closer in the early games for sure, but they wrapped it up with no questions asked.
Well, even game 1, Florida was winning that game. Edmonton came back down 3.
Right.
Florida's a wagon, and so I wanted to bring this topic up while we're on the Stanley Cup because I think it's kind of interesting. Yeah. So Florida has 3 significant free agents coming up: Brad Marchand, Sam Bennett, Aaron Ekblad.
Mm-hmm.
Name's not important, but the question came up on Spittin' Chicklets today. Shout out to that hockey podcast, best in the game.
Shut up.
Now, could they get all these 3 significant free agents to return at a cheaper price due to Florida having no state taxes? And I think that's interesting and doesn't really get taken into account in sports and stuff. But you got to think when you're dealing with millions of dollars, say you get a $5 million contract in Florida, you're probably bringing home more than you would if you signed an $8 million contract in New York, right? I don't know the exact numbers, but I'm surprised there's not anything in written in the league or the rules to even out the playing fields between the state tax states and the non-state. Because
I know this has definitely been a hot topic the last few weeks. I've heard people having the same chatter, but
what are your thoughts on it?
I mean, it could matter, but at the end of the day, why didn't it matter before? Florida hasn't had income tax since the 1920s. So,
well, yes, no, I understand that, but
why
also,
haven't Florida teams been a powerhouse previously? I just think that that's like an easy scapegoat for teams that aren't willing to spend.
Well, I think to this point, especially if you look at
Florida's
Florida
also
Marlins,
a beautiful place to go. It's just a nice place to be.
Yeah, so
live.
I think the argument, especially when you look at baseball, the Marlins won in '97 and 2003, but they've famously been sellers. They went all in one time and sold directly after under the Derek Jeter regime, but a lot of the argument's been you can't pack the seats as much because people have better things to do in Florida, go to the beach or any of those other things you just named.
Right.
Now, Panthers, you have that kind of success, though, and you have 2 Stanley Cups. Obviously, it's quite a buzz, and the stadium
and
will
Tampa
be back.
had 3 in a row. I mean,
now
you got a lot of Florida hockey fans. And there's a lot of Northeastern folks that moved down to Florida to retire, and so there's a lot of hockey tradition that's passed from people that have moved down to that area.
But it is a distinct advantage. Like if you are a Florida team that is
it's
trying
a good
to
sell. But there's other states
come
without
here,
income
live
tax.
by the beach and but live by the beach on this good ass team.
Yeah.
Don't have state income tax. Sam Bennett, he just won the Conn Smythe Award for the best player in the hockey playoffs, and he's a free agent now. He could probably command $9-10 million a year from a team that's just trying to compete. But what's stopping him from saying, "Hey, we're having a lot of success. I'll take this $7 million a year that Florida's giving me, not get taxed on it,
Right.
and we'll just continue just mowing through any team in our way." Like Florida has been to the Stanley Cup 3 times now, has won the last 2, 3 times in a row, has won the last 2, and there's nothing stopping them. They have so many players in their prime.
Yeah, I mean they've built a good team. I don't think the state income tax factors in as much as people want to claim that it does. Like it
Call
helps.
in, big taxpayer.
Call in, big tax man. It helps, sure, but there's other states that don't have income tax, and their teams aren't thriving as much as
Vegas,
Florida. I have to look them
Dallas
up.
Stars. Those teams are all succeeding.
He said those teams are all succeeding.
And it probably helps when you have a good team. Now, if you're a free agent, especially towards look at a Brad Marchand, he doesn't want to go play for a shitty team in a rebuild.
You have Predators fall under. The Tennessee doesn't have state income tax,
But they just did. But they got a lot of the big free
Texas
agents
doesn't
last
have.
year. Yeah, that's what I just said. Dallas Stars.
And now you have. Washington doesn't have it. So Ovi, he's been avoiding it for years. Oh, not DC, Washington State.
And they don't have a
Idiot.
team. Well, Kraken. So we'll see.
The Kraken. Yep.
But once a team gets good in a non-tax state, I feel like that is easier for them because now you have a good team and you're going to attract these aging veterans that hey, I'll take a $4 million deal, try to win a cup with this team that's already good, and that $4 million is going to.
I mean, you see how it's paying off for the Predators. Like they just have a bunch of Asian guys that aren't hungry to win.
Attract a lot of they got
talented players, but again, these are guys that bellies are full.
It's a clear, distinct advantage, though. It really is.
Well, what can you do?
All right, yeah, that's all I'm going to say. Stanley Cup, Florida Panthers.
I wouldn't call it a clear, distinct advantage.
Wagon. They are one of the best teams that has been
Because
assembled.
why has nobody said it was an advantage before now? Why are we just now talking about it when it's been no income tax in some of these
years
states?
Where we start discussing, and as the salary cap grows in NHL and NBA, that is definitely something that is going to, the more money, the more this is going to be a prevalent
the more
thing.
the taxes you take into account. Sure,
And the cap's getting bigger
all
and
that.
bigger each year. But and I'm not saying I don't have an answer. I just thought it was an interesting topic, an interesting talking point.
Sure, it is, and I just think that, like I said, it's not as big of a factor to make a winning team as it's kind of being talked about. It feels like people are just using it well, Florida's only good because of that reason.
Yeah, but you say that, but you look at Panthers, 2 Stanley Cups, Vegas, and then you had a year of Colorado, Tampa. That is 5 of the last 7 champions. We're in come on.
He's come on.
Right?
Yeah. I don't know.
I said it's not that big of an advantage, but 5 of the last Stanley
is.
Cup champions have came from a non-tax state.
Yeah.
And Dallas Stars have been in the thick of it.
Yep.
But anyways,
Texas non-tax
sucks for
state.
Connor McDavid, who doesn't get his championship again. I was pulling for him. Canada, once again, goes another year without winning a championship.
We're going to bring McDavid to St. Louis. You know that.
Was he going to visit?
Yeah, dude. He wants to get in the little tram and go
He's
up to
gonna
the
get
top of
18
the
mil a
arch.
year.
And he wants to, and I think I heard that he also really wants to be here for Christmas time to do the Polar Express ride that goes through North City.
Union Station.
It goes from Union Station, and then it takes you into North City, where you get to see Santa Claus on top of a burnt-out building. It's truly
fun.
magical.
Yeah.
And I think that's really going to be a selling point when we try to get McDavid here. I say try when I guarantee that he will come to play for the Blues.
He'll probably play for Florida. Tampa or Florida.
Dallas. Just
If
whatever.
he goes to one of them, Nick was right.
All right.
Or Vegas.
Or Vegas. If he just happens to go to one of the 9 states that don't have state income tax, then Nick was right. Allegedly.
I can't think of any other teams off the top of my head, but I know you have the Dallas Stars, the Tampa Bay
people- 'cause
Lightning,
I know
Florida
people have
Panthers,
been
Vegas Golden Knights. All 4 of those teams are elite.
Yeah. And people have been making the argument that Canadian teams have had such a hard time to attract good talent because of that, Canadian
And when's the last
taxes
time
are
they won a
higher. And this and
championship?
that. I don't know, the Reagan era.
Been a long
before that.
time. So if you don't think that plays any part, maybe not a significant part, but I'm starting to think that this conversation could get louder and louder.
Now, the difference between the Canadian teams and the United States teams in that tax situation, that is more impactful, I think, than just the state income taxes are when it comes to players making the choice to play in a place. Because, you then end up almost paying taxes in 2 countries if you play in Canada and then you also play across the United States. It's a mess. A lot of those players end up having to file taxes in all sorts of different states.
Yeah. It's interesting.
It's interesting, I guess, talking the logistics and the players' finances.
That's
But
what
shouts
I
out-
come to sit, talk, and listen for.
Sit, talk, and listen. Hey. But that's what we're here for. We're here to break down the ins and outs of players' finances.
So the last episode was the Kyle Portwood episode.
That's right.
And not going to touch on it too much. Is there anything you want to add to that? I mean, it was such a crazy story.
Well, we talked about it that day. I had left it to where he had sent 4 messages and I didn't respond, and it was just that was that. 2 days after, he sends a follow-up message and says, "Hey." And he doesn't say, "Hey," he just says, "Any pics of her sucking, ha ha."
Hey. I like to see that. That's how he's saying in his head.
Yeah. And that was a message that I didn't even open, just left on unread, not on read, unread.
This guy's just horned up, dude.
He's just fishing for some
Jimmy Seville type shit.
content from people, I guess. He's like, "I need you to send me your horny pics."
And while we're talking to perverts, you see that R. Kelly was overdosed in prison?
Yeah,
And
they
he
rushed
came
him to
out
the
and
hospital.
He is saying his doctors are trying to kill him.
Yeah, I heard that.
I don't know much about the story. That's actually all I know. Just headline hunting. But
Is it just headline hunting? No, I agree. I don't think that anybody's trying to kill him. I think R. Kelly wants to be relevant enough that people are like, "Oh, they're trying to kill me." No, you've already been sentenced. You're going to be in jail for 40 years. Why are we trying to kill you, dude?
more trapped in the closet chapters in.
You think whenever they were wheeling him out of there, he was singing to people like it trapped in the closet? They tried to kill me.
Yeah.
With all that medicine.
Dude, Trapped in the Closet is so good. At least the first 12 chapters. I'll still listen.
Yeah.
It's good.
I liked it. I liked it a lot when I first heard it. The more and more I listen to it, the more cheesy it gets.
Well, you get too deep into it, but the first few chapters are they're captivating. You're locked in.
Ooh. Yeah. It's a banger.
Shit.
It was another the Weinstein dude got messed up in jail recently too and had to go to the
Harvey
hospital.
Weinstein.
Yeah. Harvey boy.
Yeah, it's about time these perverts get their what's it? Upcomings?
Comeuppance.
Comeuppance. Get what is
They're
deserved.
just desserts.
Reap what they sow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, that's right.
Harvesters of sorrow.
Yep. Diddy's working on getting his.
Tootsie Roll boy.
Tootsie Roll
but
boy.
Cassie, who's Diddy's wife, is getting off scot-free, and I feel like she had a large part to play in all of this as well, trying to plead negligent and all this shit. Well, it's coming out. She's a grimy little bitch, too.
Ooh, words.
Yeah.
Dang.
Well, let's just say, you're telling me you're going to be that close to
she
somebody?
was manipulated and pressured into
Not
acting
me.
certain ways.
Yeah, who's
I
going to
said
say that?
some would say.
Her lawyer, that's who would say that. Stop.
He said, "Stop."
Stop. Knock it off.
Hey.
Because there's definitely a lot of videos and things that are coming out that she seemed excited about participating in all this shit, manipulating my ass. That needs to stop.
Well, she was getting beat up by that hotel camera by the elevator.
Okay, okay. What does that mean? So, okay, if I ever do something illegal, place a time in my life where I was wrong to be like, look at Nick. You see him here. He he's just down on his luck. No. Okay, so I had a bad day one time, but if somebody did me wrong, that doesn't mean that I wasn't complicit in anything else that happened in that relationship. That's bullshit, and it's just it's stupid. No. I don't accept that.
That's fair. Once she's implicated on some charges, we can have that conversation.
Okay.
But at this point, it's the P. Diddy man that's got the charges on him.
Yeah, I saw that. All right, we can just move on from that.
Would you saw that?
It's just funny that somebody asked Trump if they were gonna if he was gonna pardon P. Diddy, and he said, I figured this question was coming. But anyways, 50 Cent said he will make it his life mission that Trump doesn't pardon P. Diddy. I just thought that was funny. 50 Cent is a hilarious human being.
Yeah, Curtis
Jackson.
He's a
government name.
My life mission. Sure. I mean, yeah, it can be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's lots that's happened in the last
stuff happening.
15 days.
Wars in the Middle East increasing.
Send troops or no?
Nope.
Nope.
Not. I don't know. I don't think we should. I don't. For some reason, America has taken it upon ourselves to be international peacekeeper for the last 80 years.
I mean, I agree with you. But it's like, dude, Iran, if they did have some nukes, bro,
go send them.
They'll use them.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
I mean,
Iran was supposed to be our friend. We made peace with them in the 80s. We said, hey, you got a lot of oil. Let's be friends.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, we were really good friends.
Quote unquote allies is what they would have said. I mean, Iran allowed us to use their country for staging when we were in Iraq. We were quote unquote friends,
We were friends with
diplomatic friends
with them as we're friends with Saudi Arabia.
Friends, yes.
Yeah.
Friends.
Yeah. Good old boys club.
Good old boys club. So yeah, I mean, in that good old boys club, the good old boys and Clover been keeping me busy.
Hell
a lot of country
yeah.
bands played at the horse track today, Fairmount Park.
Woo!
Didn't see no horses running. They only do that on Tuesdays and Saturdays, but they opened up a casino room over there now, so they had like a grand opening for that, slots and all that fun jazz. But they got a sports book over there too, FanDuel Sportsbook. Saw some degenerates out there getting their bets in at 9 o'clock in the morning, making sure they locked it in.
Dude, if you go across the river to like place bets, which I do.
Yeah.
The parking lot that I pull into, like the first exit, there's a gas station off the first exit in Illinois. If you
255 south.
Yes.
You're down by
No
Columbia,
matter what,
Illinois.
I've gone on a Wednesday at like 10:30. And there's at least 4 or 5 Missouri plates in there, all on their phones.
Oh, yeah.
No matter what time of day it is.
It's unquestioned what they're doing. And, Missouri lawmakers can pat themselves on the back and say, we did that. We made it so that person is going to go spend their money to bet in Illinois.
Yeah, anytime now.
Anytime now. Nope. It's going to be like as late as it can be, November or December, before they get sports betting going here in the old show me state.
Which is crazy because they're going to throw away so many millions for the state for come football season.
Yeesh, big time money wasted. It's bizarre. It's bizarre.
It's fucking stupid.
It is stupid. There's a lot of that happening right now in politics, specifically Missouri, because there's been a lot of things that were voted for that are now trying to be overturned by the state lawmakers for some reason. And it's like, hey, wait a minute. Why did we vote and agree to go one way on that when these politicians are deciding it should just go ahead and go the other way?
Democracy didn't turn out the way we wanted it to. Revote.
No, not even a revote. Just we have the power to negate that vote, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Like that's bizarre. That seems wild.
Well, everything's a facade, dude.
It's all an illusion.
Choice is an illusion, brother. Freedom is just an illusion.
You can choose not to decide, but you still have made a choice.
But enough of that.
This
isn't that kind of podcast,
We're just trying to catch up on what's gone on since our last episode.
I know, but we're going down these dark
a lot
paths.
of these news headlines. Did you see the end of the U.S. Open?
I know that U.S. Open course was absolutely brutal. It even had Scotty Scheffler shook. Rory McIlroy's throwing clubs. There was a huge.
What do you
putt
think about
nailed.
that? Before we talk about the end, what do you think about a course that's that difficult?
I don't like it.
Really? I like it. I like it.
Yeah, but it'd be like, okay, let's see who's the best football team, and we're going to put a bunch of potholes in the field. Like,
I think it's a little different.
No.
It is, because the course is still 100% a golf course. They didn't put new obstacles on there. They just let the grass get a little longer and got the greens a little firmer. Like, it's still all.
And maybe maybe I would have had a different answer if Scotty and Rory would have been succeeding and stuff, because I want to see the best golfers in it at the end. And I get it. I get what you're saying. Like,
I just think that it's nice to have one tournament a year where you really just, you make these pros go through it. You make that stress level higher on them. You see who's going to rise to that and who's going to have a harder time dealing with the adversity. It just makes.
Was it Justin Spo?
I think that's right. Yeah, I knew it was Justin with an S. Justin with an S. That putt to seal it at the end was sick.
It was impressive. He didn't even need to do that. He just needed to putt it.
Right, but still.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool.
He's like Happy Gilmore. They said, hey, all you need to do is two putt it, and we can finish this out on the next hole. He's like, no, I think I'm going to finish this now.
I'm not trying to take away from him. Like, and I know that's kind of how it sounded. Just me for my personal enjoyment. No, I want to see the best in at the end. So that is why. But I get it. Like,
I like a tough course. Not all the time. Just once a year, give them the toughest course. It just makes these guys, and they're obviously the best players in the world, but it makes it look like, it makes you realize how tough a game golf can be. And like that, these guys are the most elite players. Also, can struggle on a course that's like
but Scotty's been dominating, and then you have Rory coming off his Masters win, and you have two of these guys just absolutely rattled. Like, that's just kind of why it's disappointing, because I want to see this. Like, let's see Rory if he got his confidence. And I know we're probably losing everybody here talking so much golf.
You mean they didn't want to golf? Talking so much golf. We've been on 3 minutes of the U.S. Open. Get out of here.
But it's like, to me, you got a good. Like, you have Scotty just winning almost seemingly every tournament, like at least every other tournament since the Masters. And Rory, let's see him with his swagger back, like all those chokes he's had. He's finally coming off this huge major win.
Yeah.
And now you got these guys not even making the fucking cut.
Well, tough course.
I get it. And everybody plays the same course. I do get that. Everybody plays the same course. As a viewer, though, what's going to put asses in seats?
Yes. Star power, blah, blah. I just want the one tough course. I'm team. Go ahead, make the course tough for that one tournament each year.
Let's do it before the Masters, though, next time.
Do the Open before the Masters?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I just don't want to see the Masters. Like, the Masters winner is always going to have eyes on them no matter who it is.
Sure.
And let's not put them, after that, let's see how far they can take this.
Do you think the Masters would want that? They like having their spot as the first major each year.
It just seems like, Justin Spa or whatever he will never win another major.
Yeah, but he'll always remember that he won that one. And he has that. And he always has that.
Yeah.
So shouts out, another championship.
Those are my thoughts.
We're getting down to the wire on the NBA Finals.
What? Well, it's going to be probably tonight.
Yeah. Was it Game 6 tonight, yeah?
Yeah.
And we have
Thunder, Pacers, Thunder up 3-2.
Thunder up 3-2 is what I meant to say.
Thunder, far better team. It's impressive the Pacers have even taken it this far. I don't have my phone on me, so I'm not even following it. I'm just assuming that Thunder are putting belt to ass, but I've assumed that for every game. I thought it was going to be an easy sweep for the Thunder. They're far better.
Yeah, as it is now 9:53 on this beautiful Thursday, June 19th, as we are recording episode 45. And I'm stalling while I try to look at the live score of this. But yeah, NBA
the Pacers have been on an incredible run. They're just outmatched. They're outclassed. The Thunder are just a far better team.
Would you say that Indiana is not on the championship pace?
No, I mean, clearly they are. They keep proving me wrong. I know right now I could have egg on my face not knowing the score of the game. I just, the Thunder are such a better team to me that I am just impressed, and I'm giving, I'm tipping my cap to the Pacers for even taking it to a Game 6.
Yeah, here we are. We are 7 minutes, 17 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter. 7 minutes left. And it is 99-72 Indiana Pacers
Are winning?
are winning.
He's going to Game 7. See?
He
That's
said,
what I'm
see?
saying. Like, dude, the Thunder is such a better team, and the Pacers is like,
They're not giving up.
maybe we might have to do a Game 7.
Live NBA Finals Game 7. That would be what night?
Wow.
That'd be Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturday.
Maybe no. It's probably Sunday because they do 2 days on travel.
Sunday.
They do 2 days break on travel.
Are they going back to
Oklahoma City.
I was there. I knew it. So yeah, I don't know unless Oklahoma's got to go on like
finals game that I'm missing.
They're down by 27 points with 6.5 minutes left.
Wow. See, I knew though. Not obviously I didn't know, but I was well prepared to have egg on my face.
It is a big second quarter. It looks like from Indiana. 17 points from Oklahoma that quarter. 36 points from Indiana that quarter. They made a big gap. Third quarter. Sorry, go ahead.
That's a 19-point gap.
Big gap. Yeesh. Third quarter, Indiana also outscored them by 10 points. So,
well, shout out to Indiana then.
Yep. Indiana's basketball world right now. You got the Pacers in the finals. Caitlin Clark getting all the headlines.
Caitlin Clark is that bitch, dude.
Hey.
This has been all time. Like, from the beginning, Caitlin Clark podcast.
She moves the needle. She's got star power.
Dude, she is. And, like, all those other girls are just hating, dude.
Yep.
And now you got that blonde on our team, Sophie Cunningham.
Yeah, Mizzou Connection, MIZ, Sophie
Hell
Cunningham.
yeah, dude. She's, like, me and Brent were just talking. We got to get down to Indiana to see a Fever game. Like, the WNBA is not even, like, just kind of, like, it might be more entertaining right now than the NBA. Like,
yeah, just the storylines. It's almost got like,
gosh, she has an argument to be the biggest star in basketball, not just like
it's almost got a WWE feel to it, like with the storylines outside of the game.
Some hating ass bitches, dude. Caitlin Clark, dude, she's so much better than everybody else out there, and anybody that's coming at Caitlin is jealous. Like, there's no other way about it. That girl popped her right in her freaking head, like going for that shot, and she shoved her back, and like, dude, Sophie Cunningham coming in and throwing bitches out the club, dude. She grabbed that girl by her head. I love it.
Yeah,
God, I love it.
MIZ. No, I'm a fan of that. I was big excited when I saw Sophie Cunningham was coming to Indiana's team. I was like, that's cool. Speaking of Mizzou, the New York Jets kind of becoming landing ground for all sorts of Mizzou players. You got the thicker kicker I just saw is invited to camp. I don't know if he's signed as their guy to be their guy, or if he's just getting a camp invite.
Dude, can't be better. Can't be worse than any of these jabrons we've been throwing out there these past few years, dude.
And then you got the Mizzou lineman that was just selected in the draft.
Right? Mimbu.
Yep. And then I think they're also got the Cookster. Wasn't Brady Cook going to be at Jets camp?
Yeah,
too?
we did sign him as a UDFA.
Yeah.
Wait, yeah, right? That's how you say it? UDFA?
UFA? I don't know. Unrestricted.
UFA? I don't know. UFA.
Fuck if I know.
Anyways, it's cool.
The New York Jets becoming Mizzou of the North.
Yeah, football's not really on the forefront of my mind right now.
Well,
it's going to be lots of stuff.
It will be here soon.
It will. And it will dominate the majority of my brain. So I'm just on a little football detox. Like, I'm heavy into Dynasty, so it's just year round, like, just detoxing.
A little vacation from the football mind.
Yes, if you will.
Yeah, getting ready for the uptick for fantasy season. What do you got going? Fantasy baseball you're in right now? What are you doing?
Deep in it. I'm deep in baseball.
In the fantasy baseball?
I love baseball. Always
how's it rolling? How's your fantasy squad? I think everybody.
We're not going to talk about this.
What do you mean? People don't tune in to hear about your fantasy squad?
It's going well.
Okay, that's all people need to know.
Yeah.
Good. So everybody's got that.
Heavy sports episode.
Yeah.
Laura Butler is tuned out.
Well, that's okay. Can't keep them all. She might like this. We got our pig, Dottie the pig, got her hooves trimmed for the first time.
Laura Butler, call in and tell us if you like that Dottie the pig has got her hooves trimmed.
Yeah.
Did we get her back?
Maybe. Who knows? But it was a funny experience to watch the lady that was doing the hoof trimming come in. And so we put up like a kid gate in the hallway to kind of trap the pig in our little hallway. And so she gets in there with her, and she's talking to her nice, and then she just grabs her by the legs and flips her over on her back. And I mean, the pig just starts screaming, right? Like the loudest sounds you'd ever heard come out of this pig. After about 2.5 minutes of her doing that, she just stops. And then she was just quiet the rest of the time while this girl, while this lady just was sitting on her, holding her, and then like Dremel tooling her little hooves down.
You couldn't find me doing that.
But the hooves, one of the only thing we got done with the pig this week. I got her, she likes the little kiddie pools, the plastic, small, round pools. Go to Menards, got that one for $10. And the pig likes to get in the pool and lay out in the summertime.
Well, there you go.
She's a water pig, I guess.
Yeah.
Taking care of the animals, and we got the dogs getting their teeth cleaned here soon. All these animals are getting pampered.
Get better hygiene than I do.
I can't tell you the last time I saw a dentist.
Yeah.
And this dog is getting her teeth clean. Yeah, that's all right.
Well, that's exciting.
Well, boxers get bad teeth, and, we don't want her to be toothless when she gets older. So we're getting it taken care of.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
Well, that's fun with pigs and animals.
Fun with pigs and animals on today's episode. Pacers, 102 to 80, 4 minutes left.
There you go.
So looks like they got about wrapped up. Going to Game 7.
Game 7 indeed.
Indeed, indubitably. So what do you say, Davey? Should we pop into today's Mount Rushmore? Do you have anything else you wanted to jump into before that?
No, due to time constraints, no. When I can get back into it next week, some of the stuff we missed, because we want to do Mount Rushmore and Am I the Asshole?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, because I'm, plenty of stuff to go through. I'll have a good, I do backline work sometimes, which is the company rents out drums and amps and keyboards and things like that to bands that might be coming through town to play shows that they aren't bringing all of their gear. They won't bring a whole drum set or a whole guitar amp or keyboards or whatever, so they'll rent it out locally. I did one last week for Soul Asylum. They played at the racetrack here in time. They're the ones that do the song Runaway Train was their big hit. And I got one coming up for the band Cake at the factory. I'll be doing backline for them. And so I figured I could probably just swing both those stories into one, get into some fun details from behind the stage with these bands. It's always kind of interesting.
hell yeah.
But let's go ahead and jump into our Mount Rushmore for this week. Xavier, do you want to tell everybody what we're going to Mount Rushmore?
So we've done soda, we've done chips, we've done cereal. So I feel like just to knock off the big back junk snacks, we're going to do candy, the Mount Rushmore of candy. Ooh. And that's going to cover all.
I want candy.
We debated doing chocolate and fruit-based candies, but we're just going to cover them all here.
The whole universe, the candy universe.
It's going to be tough because there's only 2 of us this week. But let's go ahead and flip that coin.
Flip that coin. I have the coin in my hand. One side says The Office. One side is blank. Xavier will call it in the air.
I'm going to go blank.
It is blank. So you have the choice to defer or have the first pick.
I'm going to go second.
He chooses to defer his pick. So I have the first pick. Ba, 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 bum. For my first pick in today's Mount Rushmore draft for best candy, I will be picking Reese's peanut butter cups.
Every time I defer, bro.
Every time I defer, you pick the thing that I was going to pick. Yeah. Look, you can't, if you got the first pick, you got to go with the one is the strongest, and it's without question, dude. Reese's.
Well, you are just making a case for my cereal draft
Reese's
last
Puffs?
week.
Hey, look, I told you Reese's Puffs was high on my list. So I got no qualms with Reese's Puffs. And Reese's is easily should be the first pick on any candy Mount Rushmore. There's so many variations of it. I mean, you got the regular classic cups, which first off, them only giving you 2 of them in a normal size package is ludicrous. Who thought that was a good idea?
You can get a king size.
Well, sure now, but I mean, when they originally started selling them and they said, here's two little peanut butter cups. This should, suffice. Does this scratch your itch? No, it makes me want more. I mean,
that's a ploy.
I guess so. The first taste is free. that it's not free. You got to pay for that little taste. And then another one. But you get even like the small ones, around Christmas and like maybe a little stocking or Easter time and an Easter basket. You get the littler ones. Those are great. Single bite size, popping them in.
Yeah, and you got the trees and the eggs too shaped, and those kind of taste better sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes those
the ratio's a little different. I think
are hitting. The ratio is definitely different, but it's all right sometimes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like there's something to that.
Have you ever bought just Reese's peanut butter on its own? You can buy like a jar of peanut butter.
It's different.
It is different.
Yeah, it's a scam. They don't sell like just a peanut butter that's in those things.
I think it tastes like that.
No,
He said no.
That's placebo.
You sure it's because you're not just eating it with chocolate? Like you're not just getting that combination of that? Okay, fair enough. It's been a lot of years since I've tried.
We'll do it. We'll try
the Reese's jar.
We'll get some and we'll try it before the next episode. We'll give the feedback.
We'll try it on the episode. You think people would listen if we should start eating into the microphone?
Something as sticky as peanut butter too. Like
ooh. You think if I just start chewing in the mic, people listen closer?
Yeah, I'm just trying to stall now because I have 2 picks and Reese's is not going to be one of them.
It's a sad day for you.
Sad day, bad day.
Yeah, Reese's Pieces, elite. Now, if I've picked Reese's, does that take the entire line of Reese's out of the game?
Yeah.
Ooh, wow. Okay, so
but I am going to take my first pick, and that is going to be the peanut butter M&Ms. Because if I can't have Reese's, I got to get peanut butter on my board, and they are like my favorite M&Ms are elite. Good luck taking any other M&M.
I was gonna say, so does that take all M&Ms off the board now? Because there's significantly different variations of M&Ms.
I mean, you went through and ran through Reese's peanut butter cups, Reese's the miniature one. So
I guess so. I mean, you've done.
So I think I'm just taking the M&M family.
That's a bummer for me because I do love some peanut M&Ms.
But you let.
That's fine. Hey, no, I'm Team Reese's, so you can take Team M&M.
I will take Team M&M, and I'm taking Team M&M.
Yeah.
And with my second pick, man, do I want to go back-to-back nut-based?
Nutty.
No. I'm going to go with the pink Starburst. Well, it's Starburst in general.
Wow.
Starburst in general.
That's a good one.
Starbursts are phenomenal. Like, obviously, the pink one is elite.
How do they squeeze all that juice into these tiny little Starbursts?
The world will never know.
The world may never know. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop?
Oh, we don't tip picks here.
Oh, you think I was going to pick Tootsie Pop?
No one's taking Tootsie Pop. But yeah, so I'm going to go M&M's and Starburst and give myself a little 1-2 punch that I think is hard to compete with.
Boo. That's all right. All right. I like it. That's good. Those are good ones. So I got picks 2 and 3 coming up to go along with Reese's on my Mount Rushmore of Candy. I think my next pick is pretty clear. We're going to taste the rainbow, and we're going to have some Skittles. Elite. You've
always been a Skittle boy. I remember your stockings were always stuffed with Skittles.
I like some Skittles. I like some Skittles. They're good. Taste the rainbow, dude. That's all I got to say about that one. You done took M&Ms right out from under me there because I can't have the peanut M&Ms. That's all right. All right. We're going to go back to the chocolate realm. And, man, I'm a little torn here. Because I have in my mind what I would like to pick, but also I'm trying to rattle through all the other stuff in my mind and make sure that I'm not leaving another great one out there to pick what is currently top in my mind. But I think I'm just going to have to go with the gut, and I'm going to go with Twix.
Ooh. It wasn't going to be my next pick, but it was good. No, it was going to be one of my next 2 picks. It wasn't going to be yeah. So good pick. I do like Twix. It was not going to get back to you. So now I'm going to have to take what I'm going to take and then another one. Yeesh. I'll take Snickers.
Ooh, Snickers. That's a good one.
Snickers are good. That you get the fun size ones around Halloween. Yeah. Those are always good. You can get the ice cream bar Snickers.
Yeah.
Phenomenal move. If you haven't done that,
Snicker is actually a candy that I can eat and it feels like oh, I've gotten a little more full. Like I felt like I ate something. It's not just
hungry?
like
Grab a fucking Snickers.
they're not lying. I mean, that's legit. You know, I can't get a Three Musketeers or something dumb and feel like I had anything to eat, but I can have a Snickers and be like, I'm good. You know, I can hold off on my next meal for a little bit now because that Snickers is nice. It's holding me over.
Hell yeah.
Good pick, good pick. So what's your last one? Round it out.
Oh man, I've already gone like a version of this, but God, I'll be lying to myself. Like, I don't know if I can have two candies so fucking similar, bro.
You did it to yourself.
Yes, now I'm all by myself. Gosh, it's such a staple in
Boom, boom, boom. A staple.
it's so similar. Fuck. Yeah, see, I could have gone Twix. I'm doing it. The Sour Mambas
Ooh.
has been one of my favorites for as long as I can remember.
Yeah, you got some good variety up there in the Mount Rushmore.
I love Sour Mambas. I know Starburst does have a sour version, and I did take Starburst. I wasn't taking the sour, but obviously, if we're playing along those lines, I technically did.
Mm-hmm.
But Sour Mambas I've been getting since high school in the high school cafeterias. I still, all the time, you can even get the individual flavored ones at like Quick Trip or something like that. I
Right.
love a Sour Mamba. The texture is a little different. The flavor is juicier. Gosh, Sour Mambas are so fucking good. And that is going to be my last pick. I don't think you were going to ever take Sour Mambas.
I was not. I was
love
not. For my last pick, it's a little tough. It's a little tough because there's a lot of candies that I do enjoy, but it's like if I gotta think of a Mount Rushmore worthy candy to go with the ones that I got, I'm surprised it's been left off, but I'm glad that it's still there. Give me Kit Kat.
Break you off a piece.
Yep. I mean, all
good.
sizes. That little wafer, it's got a good snap to it.
I think it's the best one you can. Like, people love refrigerating the Reese's, but refrigerating the Kit Kat bar is a pro move.
It's delicious. I agree. Honorable mentions for me. I definitely love some sweet tarts, and I like the little chewy, like the round ball sweet tarts. You know what I'm talking about? You had those, like the round chewy sweet tarts. Those are delicious. Used to love the Shock Tarts. I've been sad ever since they disappeared. Right? Yeah, they were Shock Tarts originally, then turned into Shockers, and now just disappeared completely. That was for sure one of my favorite candies. I don't think I could put it on a Mount Rushmore because of its general popularity. Obviously, wasn't much if it's been discontinued. What about old school candies? Charleston Chew.
I do like the Charleston Chew, and I love a snow cap because I think they're really good with popcorn. It's been a move I've been doing with my dad at the movie theater.
Not sweet tarts, Smarties. Those are like old school.
No, I'm not a big Smarties guy.
Milk Duds.
I like Milk Duds.
I'm not a big Milk Dud fan.
Like
Whoppers.
There's a lot of candies we left off. I do like Three Musketeers. I know you kind of hated on them. I think
they're fine. I don't think they don't satiate me very much.
I used to be a big Mike and Ike fan. I kind of moved on from them in my life.
Kind of like Duds,
but they played a big role in my life.
Mike and Ike's are kind of like, what am I thinking of? What are those other little ones that are similar shape to Mike and Ike's but multiple colors? Dots? Am I thinking Dots?
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Gosh, I mean, there's so much candy. Like Twizzlers, like Twizzlers.
I'm very specific on what Twizzlers I think are good.
Well, there's not that many.
Yeah, but like give me the classic strawberry Twizzlers. Like I don't need no other flavors.
Oh my God, Nerd Gummy Clusters was not taken.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
Goodness, dude.
It's an honorable mention, but I don't think it's
for
me.
God,
it doesn't have
so good
Mount Rushmore status.
And I told you I'm going to stop replacing picks, but I would have replaced one of those. And with Nerd Gummy Clusters.
Nerd Gummy Clusters.
They're so freaking good, and I disappointed myself.
I don't know why it is. I'm not a big. They're fine, but I would not put that in my top.
They're so good.
7. It's outside of my top 7. Another one I'm not a super big fan of, but it seems like people really enjoy Butterfinger. Not a big Butterfinger fan.
I used to be a big Butterfinger fan. I used to be a big Butterfinger and Blizzards fan.
Ooh, Butterfinger Blizzard.
But not as much anymore. They're synonymous with Bart Simpson and hey, don't touch my Butterfinger. That's what I think.
That's right. Good advertising on them for that one. good invitation.
But yeah, that's the candy Mount
I also
Rushmore.
love me some. Look, we're here doing honorable mentions. We don't want anybody to be mad at us for not saying their favorite candy. We don't need anybody to have the worst day of their jobs. The gummy bears I like the most.
Oh yeah, Haribo.
Specifically Haribo. I don't know how
Haribo
to
does
say it.
have good ones, and that other brand, Aberdeen or something like that.
Gummy bears.
They make really good. And I like a sour gummy bear.
Yeah,
But
I
I
like
already
a good
took sour mambas. I really like a sour flavored thing.
Sour Patch Kids also in that same kind of gummy and sour realm. Like those are elite.
Yes, sir.
What else are we leaving off that's a powerhouse candy? I feel like we're missing. We don't talk about gum. Is gum a candy to you?
No.
Gum is not a candy.
Gum is gum.
Gum is gum, but not a candy. Well, it's not a food.
No,
Is
gum
it?
is gum.
But what would you call it then? A breath mint?
No, it's just gum.
It's its own category.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just asking. I'm trying to get
what I'm saying.
clarification. It just
Gum.
seems like it should fall into some other category.
Well, you don't consume it.
Well, you eat it.
You chew it.
Yeah. Some people swallow.
Yeah.
Hey. Yeah.
Tight shit.
But, and that's the old wives' tale about gum getting caught up in your belly. Oh, it takes all these years to digest. BS. Bullshit. That's not real. Gum goes through your system just like anything else.
Yeah.
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 You sound like you don't believe it.
No, I believe it. But that takes us to the last segment.
Oh, he's moving. He said, we got to keep this cooking. We're only at an hour in.
Really?
Yeah. He
Well,
said,
I'm
I'm looking
sorry.
at the clock and I'm trying to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I'm just getting a little.
Sleepy, Zavy.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So, all right, we'll move on to the Am I the Asshole? I read a few different ones this week. I think this one stood out to me the most. And, yeah, I don't know. I think it's kind of one of those that seems like it's pretty clear, which way is the best way to go with this. But then again, we always got to remember the person who's writing his perspective, maybe he's not giving the full story. So always keep that in mind. All right? You ready for this, Davey?
Okay.
Let me clear my throat. Am I the asshole for threatening to divorce my husband over Mr. Beast? That is the headline.
I like it already.
Okay. I, female, 24, am seriously at my wit's end. My husband, male, 26, is partially deaf from DJing in his teens and early 20s, so he needs things louder to hear them. But what I don't get is why that has to mean I'm involuntarily listening to Mr. Beast yelling about burying himself alive or giving away $10K to strangers at 9 a.m. on Sunday. He watches Mr. Beast videos on his phone at like 95 to 100% volume. Not even joking. He'll put a video on while he's in the shower, phone just blasting over the bathroom counter, and I can hear it clearly from 2 floors down. And it's always Mr. Beast. No different YouTubers, just him. Constantly. Same loud vibe, same chaotic energy every day. I've asked him to wear headphones. He doesn't like them. I suggested subtitles. I'm like pausing because of these quotations. He doesn't want to read while relaxing. About subtitles, I guess, is why he said. Even bought a small Bluetooth speaker thinking maybe it'd help if the sound was directional or just a bit better quality. Nope. Says he prefers it from his phone speaker. Says he prefers it from the phone speaker. They wrote this all wild. That's why I'm tripping over a little bit. Anyway, here we go. Next time. After the 3rd time this week, I got woken up by last to leave the circle wins $500,000 echoing through the damn walls. I kind of snapped and said, half joking, if I hear one more Mr. Beast video at full volume, I'm filing for divorce. Now he's sulking, saying I don't respect his hobbies or his hearing issues. But honestly, it's not just about the volume. It's the content. I think it's childish.
Okay, this is where I'm...
He's almost 30.
Whoa.
Why is a grown man obsessed with videos made for 14-year-olds with zero attention span?
Whoa.
I love him, but I just want peace and quiet in my own home. I'm tired of feeling like I live inside of a YouTube thumbnail. Am I the asshole?
You had me in the first half.
You had me in the first half.
Not gonna lie.
This man's watching his YouTube videos on full volume throughout the whole house.
That is an asshole thing to do. Now, like divorce. Like first of all, yeah.
But she said jokingly.
If she's first the communication seems kind of there.
If I hear one more Mr. Beast video at full volume, I'm filing for divorce.
Now I don't know. Like,
Was the quote that she
this
wrote.
can't be something that developed after the marriage. If he's like this full on out, like just blaring YouTube videos,
Mr. Beast specifically,
Mr.
not just
Beast,
any YouTube
which,
videos.
Let me just stop and say right there. Like, I used to like not really watch Mr. Beast content and this and that, but it's enjoyable. I get it. Like, I get why Mr. Beast is as good as it is. A huge social experiment, and
I mean, the man's putting money into it. It's gonna. It better be production.
Like, it's
quality.
good. It's good. Like, I'm entertained. I watched his Amazon show, and I've since went back and watched a lot of these same videos, like not full blast, and I do listen to it
With headphones.
my AirPod. But it's hard for me to believe that throughout the entirety of the relationship before the marriage, this man was just normal, and now all of a sudden he's just blaring videos. If you have that strange of a habit that you do and you refuse to wear headphones,
Yeah.
you've probably done this prior, and maybe we don't know the context. Maybe they weren't living together. Maybe all these
Maybe
things she's
she
finding
thought
out.
it would not be that all the time.
Now
you
that
know?
is weird and that's strange.
And she suggested the headphones and a Bluetooth speaker, and this man's like,
Yes.
"No, I want it at my phone volume, 100%." That's a little
Now,
odd.
he is an asshole, like more so than anyone that we've read so far. I will have her side on it. I don't know why you have to take shots at the content that he is consuming. Like,
She doesn't like it. She says it's for
Well,
14-year-olds.
yeah, and I heard.
Hey, and I mean, look, I get it. There's a lot of YouTube content that literally is just loud shouting
Like,
all the
I
time.
don't think that you should judge like your partner for stuff that they enjoy, that they're entertained by. Now, how they
Don't
consume
yuck their
it,
yum.
and he's forcing that on her with the habits and the way that he is listening. Yeah, he is the asshole for that, especially because she's asked to stop. But
Yeah.
like again, like. Is the divorce isn't stemming from him watching Mr. Beast videos at full volume. It's just like what that represents, the lack of boundaries or listening or compromising that he'll do.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that that's crazy to want a divorce for a husband who can't even sit here and communicate or be like, hey, it's very reasonable that you're asking that I'm not waking you up from naps or just forcing you to listen to this Mr. Beast at full blast at all times.
Yeah. I mean,
but I think it's just larger than that. It's just what that represents. So I will be more on her side than I have been on any of these other ones.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I don't know. Maybe like
I'm on her side. It's not that you should actually divorce somebody for it. I mean, you got to communicate with them that it's annoying as hell.
But
and-
she has.
Yeah, and it is, And I don't know that she said that she really would divorce him. Maybe she did. She did say, "Am I the asshole for thinking that I would divorce him?"
yeah.
But anyway, yeah, because like there'll be times when Jamie's algorithm will feed her some videos, and it's like if she's watching them there and the volume's up on her phone, I'd be like, "Gosh, I just need to walk out of this room right now. Like, I am not trying to listen to her watching whatever this video is." So, like, I can understand that frustration, but she didn't watch them at full volume. It's like if I'm just sitting right next to it, I'm like, I gotta get it.
And I want to know how much she's over exaggerating. Like,
Right.
I mean, what did your fucking husband have the loudest phone in the world?
Right.
Now, it is still strange behavior, though.
Yeah.
Like, I can't wear headphones. Like,
Yeah, like if-
grow a pair, you fucking pussy.
If you got hearing damage and you know you got hearing damage or whatever because you were DJing in a loud environment and you're whatever, then hey, why don't you wear some headphones or something that makes it easier to listen and not have to have
I
stuff.
do
at full
fail to
volume?
believe somebody who is like this inconsiderate hasn't shown signs of this behavior before the wedding.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that they did, but things always reach a boiling point, and I guess Mr. Beast was this girl's boiling point with this guy.
Yeah.
So what's the consensus? She not the asshole?
She is not the asshole, but I think it is a classic tale of her ignoring
got
signs
asshole
because she was in
tendencies.
love.
Yeah.
No, I don't think she does have asshole tendencies. I think that she ignored a lot of things, what is it called? Willful bliss, like willful ignorance because of the love, and then like all that starts to settle. They're into a wedding and into a marriage, and now
Marriage.
she is starting to now concentrate on all these things that she's probably ignored in the past. But I do fail to believe that these are habits that he developed.
Yeah.
And maybe not just to Mr. Beast playing at full volume, but just the negligence and the unwillingness to compromise. That stuff is just red flags. So, no, it's not the Mr. Beast videos per se. I like Mr. Beast, and I don't think there's a problem with a 30-year-old consuming his content and enjoying it, because I'm 32 and I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not a habitual watcher of Mr. Beast. I probably haven't watched it in 8 months.
Yeah.
But
and you're not going around your house blaring it on full volume for all
I'm
else to
very
deal with.
conscious of like the volume of what I'm watching.
Yeah.
Like,
It's rare that I'll watch a video with more than like a click of volume on if I don't have headphones on.
Someone says, "Hey, can you turn that down a little loud?" Yeah, I'm sorry, I wasn't realizing that, because I consume things at a loud rate.
Yeah.
I feel like I've damaged my eardrums over the years, so I do listen to things a little louder. But if somebody says, "Hey, turn that down a little loud," like the normal human response is like, "Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't realize it.
Yeah. Oh.
I didn't realize
sorry.
I was distracting you.
Right.
I didn't realize I was keeping you from sleeping." Now that's fucking weird. And yes, you should probably consider divorce from your husband if he's that inconsiderate of an asshole.
True.
That's my take on it.
So all right. She's not. Well, consensus is she's not the asshole.
Finally.
Finally.
And I can see where she's at a crossroads too. Like, I don't think it's one of those like, let me put this out there and just for attention and stuff. I feel like it's
Yeah.
legitimate. Like, am I crazy? Because I think she was ignoring signs, and all of a sudden she's like really realizing all this at once of how annoying, how immature her husband can be and inconsiderate. That it probably is like, man, like
all coming together.
yeah.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, that's a good one. I'm glad we had that one this week.
Yeah.
Well, what do you got coming up? Anything you're looking forward to this next week or so before we get together again?
I mean, like I said, we skipped over a lot of things. Like,
yeah.
since we last had it, my car broke down. I went today, spent the whole day, got a new car. I mean,
New whip for the Zave.
new whip. Pretty excited about it. Not excited about the payment that I'm taking on, but
Yeah, reliable
them
car.
are the brakes. So, yeah, I did get that.
This is the world we live in.
We could speak at lengths on how grueling and long and taxing just getting a car even is,
Yeesh.
which is kind of what's led to me being so tired off,
Yeah.
So I'm sorry for having such a short episode after such a long break. We'll get back into the groove of things, especially now that I do have this vehicle again.
Mm-hmm.
That is why we didn't have an episode last week. My car broke down.
Yeah, I mean, we were both. I could have came to you, but I was busy as heck last week too.
It's taxing.
It's not just you.
It
takes a group effort to be busy.
We're gonna do a long episode next week.
Yeah.
Hate to rush things, especially after such a long hiatus, but we're here.
Yeah.
We're here. We're back.
Let's see. Adrian's birthday is coming up over the weekend. Well, his
It's gonna be-
official birthday is
Could be
Tuesday.
12?
12?
Look
Yep.
at that.
Look
me.
at that. Look
I
at
know
you.
things.
Xavier knows things. We're going.
I knew that. I'm smarter than you.
That's right. Shouts out to Tim Robinson. If you haven't seen Friendship, get out and see that movie.
Yeah.
Recommend it. I guess we might have saw that movie even since our last recording.
God, man, no.
That was before our last one? Before the one with Brady? It might have been before the Brady episode.
It was. But all in all,
I'm trying to think of anything else exciting coming up over the weekend that I might be missing out on. I got gigs next weekend. This weekend I took off for the gigs because I got Adrian's birthday. We're going to do a party and stuff. Well, I'm playing tomorrow night down at the Main Street Honky Tonk in St. Charles. So shouts out to St. Charles. Everybody knows I love me the St. Charles folk.
come on, see him play.
Come out, big music fan.
Yeah, but as always, I love you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. And